Hello, my name is Hunter Teague. In this video, I will take the role of a mock therapist meeting with clients who are struggling in their relationships. I'll explain how the patterns they describe apply to two different human development and family science theories, attachment and exchange theory. We will begin with attachment theory, the client struggling with insecure attachment with their children. However, insecure attachment can always improve and become secure. Hello, my name is Hunter. I'm a family therapist. I'm actually not. What brings you in today?
I'm concerned about my children. My oldest is incredibly independent and barely reacts when I leave for work, like they don't even care that I'm gone. My second one is incredibly clingy. They constantly want attention. When I have to leave, they freak out and take forever to calm down. Finally, my youngest one wants me close, but then pushes me away. So it's confusing and exhausting dealing with all their different needs.
Mhm. Yeah, that sounds very challenging. 3 children, 3 very different responses to your care. Tell me a little bit more about how you spend time with them.
I don't know. I work a lot, especially lately. I try to spend time with them, but a lot of the time I need a break and I'll leave them to calm down on their own. Maybe I'm not giving them enough attention.
Mhm. Yeah, sometimes children respond very differently based on how they've learned to receive comfort. These are characteristics of an insecure attachment style, avoidant, anxious, and disorganized, respectively. Maybe we can focus on making your responses more consistent, setting regular times together with your children, and comforting their physical needs and emotional needs as soon as they arise.
I can try that. It's just hard because of how much I have to work. I've been spending more time with them, and things feel so much better. My oldest son actually asks for hugs sometimes, and my second doesn't panic as much when I leave.
Great. It seems like they're starting to feel safer and more connected. Something that we see with attachment theory is that over time, consistent, responsive caregiving can change and improve attachment, helping caregivers to rebuild trust and closeness with their children or even other relationships, even when the bond started out insecure. In the next session, we'll cover an example of exchange theory. Here, the client faces a different challenge, not as a parent, but as a partner, where the costs of conflict are threatening her relationship. Hello, my name is Hunter. I'm a professional conflict management therapist. I'm actually not. What brings you in today?
My partner moved out of state to return home to take care of their mother. We never see each other. Every call turns into an argument about finances or spending time together. I feel stuck and like I'm the one putting in all the effort.
Yeah, so your relationship is feeling really one sided, like you're giving a lot but receiving very little in return?
Exactly. I've tried to talk about it, but nothing changes. I even tried to talk them into coming into therapy, but they refused. It's almost like they no longer care, making me feel like this relationship is not worth the effort.
Yeah, that does sound very painful, and I'm sorry you've had to experience that. But oftentimes, when relationships do get out of balance like this, You see, people start to take a step back and evaluate whether the benefits are really worth the cost of that relationship.
Yeah, and honestly, the costs are starting to feel too high. I'm tired of constantly fighting and not feeling heard at all.
Welcome back. How have things been going since our last session?
We ended things. It was difficult, but I realized I was staying out of guilt, not happiness. Since I had already invested so much, I felt I should tough it out, though. But I finally broke and said my goodbyes. I feel a huge weight off of my shoulders now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds like a very challenging but also very freeing choice to separate yourself from that relationship. Basically, what we see here was the client realized that her emotional investment was no longer being reciprocated, leading her to leave her relationship. This is often the shift we see when costs outweigh the benefits of a relationship. So what we see out of this video from both stories, they show how relationships evolve, how early patterns of care influence connection, and how balance can determine whether our relationships continue. From family bonds to romantic partnerships, these experiences remind us how deeply human relationships value connection and exchange. Together, these moments remind us that our relationships grow, change, and sometimes end as life continues. But understanding these patterns can help us work towards healthier connections. Thank you for watching.